I've never done a live during the day. I don't know if people will be able to join because I've never done a live during the day, but uh, I guess people can always catch on later. Can you trust life? Like this question is very, very important. I mean, like when you meet a new person, one of the biggest questions that you need to ask yourself is, can I trust them? Is this a person that I can trust? Is this a person that I can rely on? Like this question is really, really that important. Uh, we are sentient in a world that we don't quite understand. So, can we really trust life? Can we trust that life has our best interests at heart? Like, this is working for us. Lauren Taylor, thanks for joining the live. Thanks for joining the live. Can you trust life so much that you can believe that the things that are happening in this world are happening for you, not against you? Like if you were told the truth about life, will it actually make sense to believe that it was all for your own good? Substian Devon, hello brother, I'm wide awake at 3. Damn, you don't sleep. That's crazy. Corey, welcome. I've always had a feeling that if it was explained to us what life actually is, none of us will be happy. Like if they told us, hey, this is what life is, this is why you're here, this is what is actually going on, I don't think there will be a person who will actually be happy. It seems to me that the people who are happy are the people who just believe what they see, right? Remember, we've been programmed to see this world a certain way, right? Not really as it is, we're programmed to see it a certain way. So, of course, if you don't really try to see what is going on, you're just going to think that things are what they seem. Can you trust life? Can you believe that the world is exactly what it seems? You are in a floating rock that is spinning. There are other planets. You are in a material universe. Is that what is true? Can you believe that that is what is true? That you're not in some kind of a simulation? Can you believe what you see? You know? Can you believe that life is fair? Because life is presented as if it's fair. Can you believe that it's not rigged? That sometimes no matter what you do, it doesn't matter. You can learn all the right things and still it doesn't matter. It's rigged. Can you believe that it's not rigged? Like, nah, man. You know, life is what you make it. Like if you decide that you're gonna do things a certain way, you're gonna get certain results, you know. It's not rigged. You know, it's up to you as a person what you want to do with your life. It's up to you what you're going to paint. That it doesn't it matters how hard you try, you know. If you do the wrong things, you're gonna get negative results. If you do the right things, you're gonna get positive results. Is that what we should believe about life? Or there are a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes that we do not see. So you do work hard, you do all the right things, but the game itself is rigged, so it doesn't really matter. You still suffer in the end. Or you learn all the things that you need to learn, but there is something that is more powerful than you that is determining your results. So you can learn everything that you need to learn, become like the closest things to perfection, but still you get negative results because it was never up to you. It was always up to something else that is more powerful than you, that wants you to believe that it was up to you so that it can torture you while it sees you try hard, right? Like when you're trying too hard, like, okay, well, it means to have money, I must work very hard. And then you work very hard. You wake up in the morning, work very hard. But it's like, okay, here's how I'm going to get this person. They will work very, very hard, but I will make sure that something will happen so that they will fail. And I'm going to make sure that there are people who will succeed even if they're not doing anything. So that this person will be more frustrated, because they'll look at themselves and look at other people and be like, but this person has done nothing and they're being successful. And I've been trying everything and I'm still not successful. What is going on? It's not really in control, but it, but it seems like we are in control. Pre-Stone, Paul, the cold showers are amazing. I've been taking them 4 years. Oh, that's dope. I used to take cold showers too in 2014, and I felt like my skin was looking better. But damn, they're cold. Black Cell Need, what are your thoughts on transhumanism? I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it. Um, like when you look at the world, do you feel this like deep sense of trust? You're like, nah, things are happening for me. I mean, people who are into New Age spirituality believe that, like the universe, is working for them, not against them. Is that what every person should believe? Is that what is actually true? Or the universe is actually working for itself? It's actually serving itself. It's not about you as a sentient being. It doesn't matter if you are happy. It doesn't matter if you're not happy. The universe just figures out what works, and then things just work out the way that the universe wants things to work out. A lot of people, when you say you don't trust life, they think you have a mental illness or you are depressed or you are negative. But should you? Have we seen enough to say we trust this? We believe as conscious beings that we're good here, we're safe here. Or if it's ever revealed to us what life is, we will all be okay. We'll all be okay with what life is. None of us are going to be like, no, 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 no. So this is what it was all for. If you've watched the last Guardian of the Galaxy movie, Rocket, like the smartest being, don't even know what to call him. Is a raccoon that can speak. So this guy was doing some experiments on him, like trying to make him very smart and you know. So the raccoon didn't know that was being done. Like he didn't know that it was just some part of some experiment. He just thought that the guy that was performing experiments on him was performing experiments on him so that he will make him better. But no, he was just performing experiments on him so that he will create perfect beings. Like Rocket Raccoon was not created so that he can actually be a perfect being that can go to like a new colony that it was creating. No, it wasn't about it. He was just performing experiments on him. Once that was revealed to him, he was so damn angry, right? So his whole life, he believed that, okay, they're performing experiments on me so that I can be better. But no, no, no. It was never about him. I have a feeling that if it was revealed to us what this is, what this is all about, all of us will be like, what the like, you know what I mean? And you can see that things the things that are happening in this world are not for our best interest. Like this universe doesn't care, bruh. Have you ever been depressed and you had to pull yourself out of depression? Like the universe didn't help you. You prayed, if you believe in religion, you prayed. God didn't help you. No one helped you. You tried whatever you tried, nothing worked. You just had to walk through fire and pull yourself out. Because the universe only cares about what it cares about. By transhumanism, you mean like humans like merging with technology? If that's what you mean, I know that a lot of people are against that. But here's my problem. Here's my problem. My problem is that most of us know that the way that we've been programmed as humans is imperfect, right? We get sick. When we lose our, when you lose your finger, it's not like it's gonna grow back. You are very limited. Is that what is good? Is that what we should defend and be like, yeah, we shouldn't merge with technology, because if we merge with technology, it means that we're no longer going to be humans. So are we saying that being human is what is perfect? That is the question that I'm asking. Because I don't feel like being a human, like the way that we are, like we're so damn limited. I don't think we're perfect. Now, I don't think that us changing ourselves or merging with technology is actually better, because that could be a trap. But the people who feel like that is bad are people who kind of like want us to remain as we are, who think that we're playing God. You know what I mean? So that's my problem. But I'm not saying merging with technology is good. I'm not saying that it's bad. I don't know enough, but we also have to understand that technology has helped us. There are some people who didn't have limbs, and there are some people who were blind who were able to see because of technology. So um maybe there are a lot of things that are bad about it, but maybe there are also good things about it. So you were banned from the start. What do you mean? Random shit. How can free will exist when effect has causes? Exactly. A lot of people, when I tell them that free will doesn't exist, they think that I'm saying everything is predestined. No, no, no. I'm not saying everything is predestined. I'm saying everything that happened is happening as an effect of something that has happened before, right? There was a cause for something to happen. So it's not really free will, because everything that I can say now was caused by what happened. You know what I mean? Even me doing this life, that was caused by what has happened. You know, there are a lot of things that happened that actually led to me doing this life. So that's not free will. It just seems like free will, but it isn't free will. It's causality. I usually give this example of like the butterfly effect. There's this movie called The Butterfly Effect. So this guy used to faint when he was growing up. He would faint, he would faint, he would faint. Then when he got older, he realized that he can go back to the time when he fainted and change things. So he would be able to remember his past and do things differently if things didn't work out. And things would just, happen so damn differently because of one small event, right? They call that the butterfly effect. It's like one small thing can change your entire life. Like your entire life can take a different direction because of one small thing. Let's say you're walking in the street and you hit a stone and you stop for maybe 2 3 seconds. That changed your life. I want you to understand that. It means that things ain't gonna happen the way that they will happen if you didn't stop for that 3 seconds. So that's causality. It's cause and effect, right? Deep Slayer. So Chief Benedictine, how does a grade 12 student focus on exercise and studying while knowing this truth, or just being productive in general? Yeah, that's a good question, because if I knew what I know today, I don't know. I honestly don't know how I will be able to, focus on studying. But exercising is good. Maybe 1 hour exercise when you come home from school, maybe between 5 and 6 p.m. Maybe that will work. But they give you guys too much work. That's the problem. Like when I was in grade 12, they weren't giving us too much work and we didn't have to attend Saturday classes. But now you gotta attend Saturday classes. I mean, sometimes even on Sunday. It's actually crazy. It's madness when you think about it, because you're no longer enjoying yourselves as people. Like, they give you a lot of homework and you gotta study. It's not about you anymore. It's about the system. It's trying to create a perfect slave, right? They're trying to create ideal slaves. So how can they create ideal slaves? They gotta make sure that you you don't focus on your own goals. You don't focus on making yourself better. You must focus on what they want you to focus on. That's how they create a perfect slave. So they're giving you a lot of work, lot of work, but it doesn't make you better. I've interacted with a lot of grade 12 learners, and to be honest with you, most of them ain't as smart as we were when we are in grade 12, because they're giving you so much work that is unnecessary, that doesn't like improve, you know, like it doesn't like really improve your knowledge in any way. It's just not like that. It basically making you focus on nonsense, basically. Brendan Mayhew, hello truth teller, welcome to the live. The counselor, dear Benedict, tuning in to you from Port Stephens, Australia. Thanks for joining the live. Thanks for joining the live. I only know about Sydney, Australia, because um, one of like the fighters that I liked in the UFC is from Sydney, Australia. Robert Whitt. No, was it Robert Whittaker? Yeah, I think yeah, it's Robert Whittaker. It's from Sydney, Australia. Preston Bobby, what is it all about? That is a good question. What is it all about? Can you trust it? Because we are being forced to trust life. If you realize that, like, we've been conditioned so little to trust life, to trust that everything is happening in our favor. We are here for a good reason. That's what they're telling us. If you ever say, you show that you doubt that this is the things that are happening for us, you're gonna be they're gonna make you think that you're crazy. Like, there's something wrong with you. How can you doubt that this is working for all of us? But is it? Yes, you go can. It occurred one day to me that we are just used to this, all of this since birth. Yeah, yeah. We are being made to be more addicted to this, right? So it's not even like we want this. It's not like we really want this, but we're addicted to it. It's like if you were addicted to uh, sugar, for example. You might not really want sugar, or want sugar, but you're addicted. For love, you know. There are a lot of people who are in toxic relationships. They can see that the person that they're in relationship with is not good for them, but they love them. So they're like, hey, what can I do? I love this person. I can see that there are nice people who can actually treat me better, but I love this person. They don't want to love that person, but they love them. It's just, you've been programmed to be attached to this thing as a human. Like, if you were able to unprogram your mind, you will do that. There are a lot of things that you're addicted to that you'll be like, I don't want to be addicted to it. You know, so we're addicted to this. That's the thing. So that's why it seems like it's a positive thing. Some people ask me, oh, if this is really a bad experience, why do you think a lot of people are here? They're addicted. They do want to leave, but they're addicted. Sometimes they do try to leave and fail, and then find themselves addicted. Again, it's you know what I mean. It's like if you try to leave a toxic relationship and you fail, or you decide that you're gonna leave but you don't leave. It's kind of like that. That's the kind of relationship that humans have with this realm. Like, they're addicted. They cannot really come up with a profound explanation why this is good. The truth is that they're just addicted to this. We're just addicted. All of us are addicted to this. Even if you feel like you you don't wanna do this anymore, you're still addicted to this somehow. That's the thing. But Sag B, don't trust life, it will betray you. Yeah, I know people who used to trust life. until they got a reality check and they were like, damn, things are this messed up. Because, at first things might not really seem messed up, especially if you're lucky. Because whether we like this to be true or not, human beings are solipsist. They just don't really want to admit fully that they're solipsist. And what do I mean? If life is treating you well, things are working out for you, you don't pay attention to what is happening to other people. It doesn't really matter to you. In fact, you can see bad things happening to other people and still be like, life is good because, well, my life is good. So this it means that life is good. It's all about me. It's all about how I feel. It's all about me. It's not about other people. You see? Until things start, looking bad for you, and you're like, man, I didn't know things can be this bad. And then you start to pay attention to what other people are going through, and you're like, damn, it means I was lucky. I didn't know that I was lucky. I didn't know a lot of people were suffering. I just thought this was life. Like life was like this. You know, my car one was my car van was robbed. That's a name. That's an interesting name. How did you come up with that name? Was it because it was like it was stolen for real? Still dooming to the doomers. Can't relate. Hmm. Brendan, you're still asleep. How cute. Oh, you're still asleep. Yeah, I know people will usually join when around like when I do a live around 6. I don't know what 6 p.m. is like instant time. I don't know what like 6 p.m. is. But yeah, this is when a lot of people are awake. What do you think about astral projection? Um it's not that I believe we have souls or consciousness can come out of a body like that, but I believe that a person can have that experience, but it's not really real. Like it's kind of like it's like a glitch in some way. It's like a glitch in the matrix. So it appears as if your soul is leaving your body and you start to float and all that, but I don't think that's what is actually happening. I don't even think that consciousness isn't consciousness leaving your body. It just seems that way, right? I think it seems that way. So it's I would say it's more like a glitch more than anything. Just like I keep on telling you that I don't really feel like we're living in a physical universe. So if astral projection is real, it will mean that we live in a physical universe where your soul can leave your body and you start to float. Babayana, do you suspect the Anunnaki stories are true? I actually wanted to talk about that today. Um, I would say there's enough evidence to believe that, right? Like if you wanted to believe something is true about our history, then that really does make sense. I mean, they've had tablets, where like with like the like showing our like solar system. That's crazy. And this tablet was discovered like more than like 150 years ago, I think. Um, the ancient monuments, that we can't really explain. I mean, the history that we've been given, there's no place for these ancient monuments to have been created. Like if we believe that we evolved the way that we evolved, you know, and so even if because I know that the people who talk about arrestation saying that he didn't know how to translate what was written on those tablets. Yes, but what about the ancient and monuments? What about the pyramids? Who built the pyramids and why? It's not just about how, why did they go through that? Because it means that it would have been hard for them to build pyramids. So why? It means there's something that they knew, and how did they know what they knew? You know what I mean? So there's enough evidence to support that. This is what I'm gonna say. Like if you believe that aliens, um intervene somehow, I would say that's, that makes sense to believe. It makes sense to believe. I'm not going to say it's true, but it really makes sense to believe. Random shit. The only way free will can exist is the world of causality. In a world of causality, is if free will is a hierarchical spectrum, so some entities have more free will than others. But will that still mean that it exists? It seems to me that free will itself is impossible. Like the only level where you would actually have free will is in the beginning. Let's just say you were God in the beginning, and you wanted to um have like the human experience. So you will have decided as a God that you want to have the human experience, but what you experience as a human, there could never be free will, right? So as a human you don't have free will, but you are the one who made it. The same way that, like, if you started a car, or let me not even talk about a car. Let's say you press the button that would start uh something that will cause events to keep on happening. What I mean? You made the choice to start the pattern, but what is happening is just happening on its own as a result of causality. You might not even know how to predict what's going to happen in the end. Or be something small will only cause a small effect, whereas something larger will cause a large effect. No, it seems true, but that's not true. In fact, anything, no matter how small it is, can cause like like it can make your life change for good. Something very small. I can even use the example that I gave you. So let's say uh you're walking somewhere, and then maybe you kick a stone and you're like, huh. You wait for 3 seconds, and then you continue to walk, and then you get hit by a car. That means you got hit by a car because of that stone that you hit. It's something very small, right? So you might say, no, no, no. Me getting hit by a car changed my life for good, but you don't realize that it was something small that actually made that happen. Do you understand? So it's the butterfly effect makes a lot of sense. There are a lot of things that have happened in your life because of something very, very small, something very small that you forgot. Maybe you dropped a coin and picked it up, and that changed your life. Maybe because you dropped that coin, you met the love of your life and got married, and then they cheated, and then you lost everything because because of a coin. Random shit. Like powerful entities might have more levels of consciousness and free will. They might have more. They might be more capable. Like they might be able to do things that we cannot do, but it still wouldn't be free will, right? Just like human beings can um, create stuff. Animals don't seem to be able to create much really, but it wouldn't mean that that's like free will. Jack Daniels, welcome. Kevin Chavaria. Solipsism can be very empowering. It's the only thing that makes sense to me, and the only route for real liberation. But who knows? Yeah, that's what's crazy, that you cannot really know anything for sure. But if you think as rationally as possible, solipsism really does make sense. Is that you can't walk around the street and saying, I'm a solipsist, I'm the only conscious being. Even if you were in your dream, you can't do that. It's not going to make your dream very nice. It seems like consciousness truly doesn't want you to know when you're dreaming. It doesn't want you to know what is real and what isn't for real. So yeah, you kind of like have to pretend as if solipsism doesn't really make sense to you. Araya Chaunhari. I have understood life and also about the value of antinatalism. I love your videos. Likely graduated this year. All I do is watch action movies of Southern Asian movies and Chinese action movies. Yeah, when I was growing up, I used to like Chinese action movies. There's something about them, the culture, the music. So I used to watch that. I used to watch that a lot. So that these days I don't watch movies. I feel like I get bored very easily. I like mind bending movies where, like, in the beginning, there are no obvious answers. And I think that's what's keeping me addicted to this. It's like there's no obvious answers in this world. So to me, it's about figuring out what this is. So I would say that's like what's interesting for me, I guess, is figuring out what this is because it is something. I don't like it. I don't like life itself. I don't trust it, but I'm still like my curiosity keeps me going. So it's like watching a mind bending movie and you don't really like what's happening. You're confused, but you're like, why? What did that happen? That might be significant, huh? Why did that happen? Why did this person say this? What is really going on? Who are the good guys? Who are the bad guys? How does the whole thing end? Ngele to Goldie Bosholo. I think everything is predetermined, just like the way the brain experiences the dream state. You just can't control it. Yeah. Well, where are you from? Ngele to, because the name sounds African. Yeah, but yeah, that's true. Not. It's true that we're not really in control, but I'm not sure if everything is predetermined. Um, it's. I think some things are predetermined, but not everything. It's the cause and effect. That's the best way to explain why we don't have free will because that's practical in many levels. Like to believe that everything is predetermined, you still have to take a leap of faith, right? But with causality, you don't have to take any leap of faith. Like it's obvious that everything is a result of causality. Kevin, that Kevin did. What do you think is beyond the soul trap realm? That's a good question. Um, I would say once you escape this, you will understand what you are. Like you become more of what you are. So I wouldn't say escape. When you escape this, you go to a place. I would say you reach higher states of awareness where you remember things that you're supposed to remember, where you have more control. Where you're not a slave, where you're not being. Because now we're working in the dark. Like we don't know what the heck is going on. So once you escape this, you know some things that you actually deserve to know as a being that's having like an experience here. Deborah, hello from Ireland. Every time I hear that someone is from Ireland, I think of like Conor McGregor. I like how he speaks. Like I like the accents, like how people from Ireland speak English. They have a dope accent. Enjoy your channel. It's a relief sometimes to listen to your thoughts. Feels like someone is speaking the truth. I've come to myself at this stage in my life. I've witnessed such. No, thanks, and thanks for joining the live. AGWAG. Shout out to the MVP. Thanks for joining the live. Thanks for joining the live. Micro 99. Hey, what holds most of people here indeed is anti-self. Okay, I'm not even gonna say it, but okay, programming and addiction to life is just so hard for people to let go of what they cling to. Yeah, it's a good question. Like what holds us here is our addictions, to be honest. Like we are addicted. We can't really explain why we're addicted to this. We can't really explain why um for example, we're against abortion. We can't explain why there's many true lifers. We can't really explain why we feel bad if a person feels like at some point feels like they don't want to do this anymore. Maybe they're too sick. so they want assistance. We can't really explain why we feel bad, but I would say it's addiction. We've been programmed to just believe that we must be attached to this. Like, this is a good thing, even if we can't really explain it. Have you settled on a belief system? Um, I would say what makes the most sense to me is that consciousness is fundamental, and there's only one consciousness. So yeah, kind of. Preston Bob, the thoughts on psychedelics and lucid dreaming, how it affects solipsism and not lying to yourself. I mean, when you're the fact that you can have a psychedelic experience is actually crazy, because when you're having a psychedelic experience, it feels like what you're experiencing is more real, right? Just the fact that the mind can create these experiences for you tells you something. Uh, lucid dreaming, I wish it was possible to be more like to be lucid in this reality, but that also tells you something, because if you can lucid dream, it could mean that the characters in your dream are not conscious at all. You're the only one who's conscious. Because sometimes people feel like the beings that they interact with in their dreams, are conscious, like, to some level. They might not be as conscious as the dreamer, but they're conscious to some level. But when you are in a lucid dream where you're truly in control, it becomes more obvious to you that only your mind exists, and everyone is your projection, and you know that when it matters, right? You don't know that after you've woken up from the dream and you're like, oh yeah, those were just projections of my mind. That person that I had a fight with, that was just a projection. Like, when you are dreaming in real time that, yes, these are my projection. So that does tell you a lot about solipsism. Like, if you've had lucid dreams before, I would say it makes more sense to actually believe solipsism is true. Jack Daniels, are we ruled by the demiurge? Yeah, that's the story. That's the storyline. That is what makes sense to believe, right? That's the same way that it makes sense to believe that Donald Trump did win the elections, right? Like, he's the president of America again. But yeah, there's the story that there is some evil entity that is controlling everything. That is why, no matter how hard people try to be happy, they're just not. Like, there's so much that's going on that's making people unhappy. A for autistic, we were genetically engineered as a slave race. I mean, that makes sense to believe, man. I mean, there's a lot of evidence that actually points to that being true. Sierra, hey, the new to chart, found your video in my feed. I come from the USA. What, if any, are your thoughts on NDE stories as in near-death experiences? Yeah, I think I think what people experience when they have like an out of body experience or near-death experience is what we will all experience in the end. And I think it is good that some people get to experience that, because they will know what to expect, you know. But also, if you keep on watching those kind of videos, that's also good, because you're also training yourself for what might happen after this. So it's good to like watch near death experience stories. I know some people lie, because I mean they just tell you that it's not like you have evidence that they've had a near death experience. Like, when I watch videos of people who claim to have had near death experiences, I want proof too. Like, there has to be something. Like, there has to be some people who will say, yeah, I saw this person, this person, what they're saying is true. I saw them die and come back to life. Like, that would be good. Not just people saying that, oh, I was in my bathroom and I collapsed and I had a near death experience, and then yeah, I woke up an hour later. Like, no, no, no. We need to know you died. Maybe you woke up in a mortuary or in a hospital. They confirmed that you were dead, and then you woke up. There has to be some evidence at least. But yeah, I think some of these stories are true, and I think something similar to what happens to them is what's going to happen to all of us, but we're not going to experience the same things. You see, that's, like people who are very religious believe that we'll go to the same place, right? We'll be judged and all that. Maybe they will be judged because that's what they fully believe. That's what they are programming their subconscious to believe. So maybe that's what their subconscious will create for them. Who knows? But I don't believe that that's what I'm gonna experience after this. I don't believe that I'm gonna meet some god and who's gonna be like, yeah, on the 12th of January 2006 you stole a pen from your friend, so you gotta be judged for that. You betrayed this person, you gotta be judged for that. You cheated on this person, you gotta be judged for that. You lied about this, you gotta be just like, I don't believe that. I think i think it wouldn't be fair because we are, like I was saying, that we are victims of causality, all of us. Pro-moralist in God mode, your mind fools you every day, tries to keep you hooked. Yeah, that's what sucks. Our own minds be deceiving us, right? They borrow terrible suffering when the person could not have done any different because of the damage done to them. There is no justice. Life is very, very cruel. Yeah, that's the thing. People just suffer just because life itself is cruel. It's not like they suffer because they're doing something bad. You just suffer because you're a human in this world, and that's it, right? You're just an unlucky human. And even if you're lucky, you still suffer. Like no one is free from suffering. Random shit. Why does it have to be Anunnaki or aliens? Why can't more advanced civilization existed in the past? Yeah, that's true. But if highly advanced civilizations existed in the past, how how did they die? What happened? Did they just leave this place and go to other planets, or they just they just reached a level where they just terminated themselves? Like, yo, we can't go on anymore. Like, what really happened? But you're right. Why can't it be advanced civilizations? Why does it have to be aliens? And do NPCs have feeling? It depends on what you mean by an NPC. Do you mean beings that just don't have consciousness at all? Or do you mean beings that are just not as conscious as they should be? Timeline discover nonsense while we are asleep, nonsense while we are awake. Maybe we are downloading the next day while asleep. Sleep is a weird thing. Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. But if we were downloading the next day, it would mean that we will not be able to experience the next day if we didn't sleep. But yeah, definitely something is definitely happening, and we're not being given like a good explanation for it. Why do we sleep? Why can't we just rest without falling asleep? Right? You're tired. You just decided I'm just gonna rest because I am tired. Human beings, when they're tired, they will just rest. And when you really think about it, you don't really rest because when you're sleeping, you're still dreaming. So your mind is still, you know, doing something while your body relaxes. But you can make your body relax even if you're not dreaming. Exactly. And if they are feeling, they can't be so crazy. Um, the problem is, how do you know that someone is an NPC? Maybe someone who's conscious can also be crazy, right? To borrow and accept the awfulness of reality, but it's actually really okay to accept the awfulness of reality. To know that this is where we at, this is what goes down where we at, than to be in denial. Kevin did. Have you watched the 13th Floor? Very good movie about the simulation theory. Yeah, I think I have watched the 13th Floor, where there's like many simulations. Like this guy was working with this other scientist, and they created a simulation, and they'll go to that simulation and tell people in the simulation that they are in a simulation, and they'll become angry, and then he'll go back to his world that he thought was real, but then someone else came to his world and told him that he was also in a simulation. So that's crazy. Preston Bobby, the Substance movie was super horrifying and mind bending to watch. The Substance movie, I haven't watched it. Do you recommend that I watch it? Honda Boys. I feel like I'm going to hell. Oh, I'm going to hell. Where will I go? I'm scared when I die. Nah, don't even be scared, because there's. I think believing in hell is a bad thing, because if you believe in hell, what are you telling your subconscious? Because your subconscious is powerful. So if you keep on telling it that there's a place where people are going to burn for eternity, people like you are going to burn for eternity, what do you think is going to happen? I think people who have dreamt about hell because of the lies they were told, right? Like if you never knew, like if no one told you about hell, you never even dream about hell. So you gotta be careful about what you consume, what you actually end up believing. Thailand discovery. Yeah, I'm scared to die now too. Who knows what's next? That's scary. I can't read this. The name. I've always wondered how people are able to read this language, like the Chinese. Like how are you able to read Chinese language? Like, what do you think about dilemma of Christianity and soul trap theory? Because due to some really reality evidence, Christian God can be true and soul trap theory is not true. If what we're told about the Christian God is true, it will actually make more sense to believe that the soul trap thing is true, because Christians are being told that the God that they believe in is actually good, and He loves them and all that. But when you read the Bible, do realize it doesn't love them, doesn't love humanity. Actions speak louder, right? It's not about what is being said; it's about what's being done. So when you read the Bible and you look at what the Christian God has done, it actually makes sense that He trapped our souls here. So if you believe in the Christian God, you believe Christianity is true, it's much more logical to also believe that this soul trap theory actually makes sense. Hiram above this, definitely there is definitely is free will. It was my free will that decided it's never ever I'm never okay. It's never ever taking injections since 2015. Even if they try to force it, ain't gonna make a difference. It will be my free will to oh. People don't understand free will. That's a problem. Like what you're saying is not an. It's not even an argument against free will. What made you not want to take the jab? What made you decide? Isn't it how you experience life? Isn't it how you're programmed as human? Maybe you are rebellious by nature. Maybe you are very intelligent. But realize that it you didn't have power, right? You didn't choose to be intelligent. You didn't choose to feel the way that you feel. There are things that cause you to be the way that you are. So you decided that you're never going to take injections, but it feels like a decision, but it's just how it has to do with things that you didn't control, right? So I can say it's my choice to make this video. If I didn't want to make this video, I wouldn't have. But there are a lot of things that have happened that led to me making this video right now. Things that started a long time ago. So it's not free will. It can never, in this realm, as humans, we can never have free will. We can only have the illusion of free will. We can only believe that we have free will. You see? Gora is the apostate. I thought it was the apostle. I wonder why they are non-playable characters. Are they non-playable characters because they are all dead in the end? Because they were created to be non-player characters, I guess. They might drink a lot of water. It can be known. Like people around me are starting to be concerned because I'm always holding this. Even when I go out, I'm always holding this, and it always has to have water. It's water addiction, I guess. Thought field. The problem with free will is people define it inconsistently and loosely. Yes, that's 100% true. I've also realized that. And the advantage determinism has is it's a very useful assumption in scientific experimental framework. Um, Causality has an advantage because it can be like through logic alone, you can realize that we're all victims of causality. Preston, baby, very true, man. Psychedelics can definitely feel more real. Yeah, it's crazy that that's even possible. Brandon, I'll never understand how people can be anti-abortion. That's just dumb. Yeah, tells you a lot about where we are at, though. Anthropoid, how to survive as internalists in an extreme natalist society. Um, yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy because, but you must also understand that antinatalism is in like your whole life. You know what I mean? Like there are other things that you can do. Like you just decided that you're not gonna have children because you understand how messed up the world is, but you don't have to live life a certain way. You just don't have children, meaning that you can still, you know, live your life for as long as you can. So yeah, antinatalism. I don't look at it as a culture. Like you gotta live a certain way. You gotta follow certain rules. You just don't bring people here without because you can't get consent from them, and that's it. I posted they were lives paid for our existence, so your will is bound to their wills. Mm, yeah, that makes sense. AG, it looks like Gnosticism is on the rise and in a common train of thought in your channel. Yeah, yeah. Gnosticism. That's what the whole thing. That's like I will look at myself as a modern Gnostic. Wage, a wage, a wage. Yeah. It's age wage. Okay, does anybody know how we could escape the lush farm prison planet? Um, yeah, I've made videos explaining how I think we can escape this, but I think it has to do with what we get to understand while we're still here. Like we need to understand enough while we're still here so that we can't be fooled anymore. We're being fooled because we understand nothing. So it has a lot to do with knowing. There has to be things that we know or things that we realize, or we need to think so rational that even if we don't get confirmation that with what makes the most sense to believe is the truth, but we we get we figure out what the truth is even if we get no confirmation, right? That would be good. Ditlan, I can't believe it's a matrix. What do you believe it is? Corey, is the occult of prime weapon against the demiurge? What are you talking about? I don't, Sierra, thank you for your responses to my question, Benedictine. No, thanks for joining the live and thanks for waiting for my response. Jake Holman, judge for what? For being born in a world that you didn't ask to be brought into. Diagoras, you know the matrix means womb, right? Yeah, I think I've heard some people also saying that it means womb, but it can mean different things. Araya, the two good movies I love is Bruce Willis movie Mercury Rising. Yeah, I think I've seen. I haven't watched that movie, but I've heard about it. Filipino action movie Tupac. It has good underlying story with some profound philosophical quotes. I might need to watch it. You know, I like the movie. I'm thinking of ending things because of some deep philosophical quote. Like I don't think the movie itself is like in it. It's entertaining. Like it's not an entertaining movie, but if you're into philosophy, damn, there's a lot that you can realize from just watching that movie alone. No, I'm thinking of ending things like it's so well written. Um, the script, even the act, like they killed it. You know, they really killed it. Thoughtful challenge free will from this. You do not create or choose your motives. They occur without your assistance, and behind all choices are motives. Yes, a choice was made, but was it a free choice? Yes, this is a good way to look at it. So you can't make a choice free from causality. Diane Covington, Washington D.C. Is that where the White House is? Is that where Donald Trump is going? Micro 99. I remember there's this guy who prophesied that Donald Trump is gonna win, and he also prophesied that Donald Trump was gonna get. So it's crazy, right? But like I said, they don't predict the future; they create it. There's also been prophets, many TikTok prophets who predicted what was going to happen before, and these things happened, and then they predicted a lot more things, but they didn't happen. I remember one of them, I just forgot her name. She predicted that the lady was going to win. She said the lady is going to win. So she was referring to Kamala. So I guess she was wrong. Bashar said, what did he say? Oh, Bashar, I think Bashar said if the men win, then aliens, like we're gonna start, like they're gonna reveal the existence of aliens, right? If the guy wins, he's referring to Trump. And he said if Kamala wins, it's gonna be the beginning of World War III or something like that. I don't remember what he said. But he's protecting himself. Tell us what's gonna happen, dude. Don't tell us if this person wins, this is what's gonna happen. You're protecting yourself. You know, take that risk. You know, if those beings that you're channeling really know more than we can know as humans, then tell us things that you can't possibly have known on your own. That's when we'll actually believe that you are channeling some beings. But I'm not gonna say Bashar. Oh, there's nothing to learn from Bashar. He's a very intelligent person, like super intelligent actually, and there's a lot. Like I do watch his videos because there's a lot that you can learn from him. But you know, these people that predict the future, you know, they lie to people, man, and hope they get it right, and we don't question them if they fail. Jojo Siwa, did your parents know you are internationalist? Did they support your internationalist view? No, they didn't. They did know. Like my father died, but he knew that I didn't want to have. Like he's heard me mention it multiple times that I don't want to have children. My mom knew, but she said that I would change my mind. She said I was still young, I would change my mind. But now she sees that I'm serious. But she also gets it because she doesn't like it when people who live where I live, where nothing have children, So she gets it, but she always felt like, as I become more and more successful, I'm going to start to think to want to have children. But I think she gets it now. She sees that this is coming from a real place. It has nothing to do with me suffering, me not having the things that I want. I feel like things ain't as bad as they used to be, but I know beyond any reasonable doubt that I just don't. I don't want to bring a person into this place. Even if I was very rich, even if I was a millionaire or a billionaire, I still wouldn't want to bring a person here. And that's because I don't believe that it's the right thing to do to force someone to have an experience that they might not like. Is it the problem? Having an experience that I know, having an experience that I know some people do not like, knowing that there's a chance that you might not like the experience. I remember whenever I bring this up, some people say, okay, maybe it is good to do something for someone without their consent, like, secret birthday parties. Be like, well, first of all, most humans like surprise parties, right? I mean, surprise birthday parties. They like surprise birthday parties, like most people. Like we haven't seen many people say they don't like surprise birthday parties, but also understand that it's not that much of a burden. You can pretend for maybe an hour, 2 hours that you like, the surprise party, you know. Life, man, you here for how long without your consent, and there are a lot of things that you gotta do. But also realize that you can say no. Like they can have a surprise birthday party for you, and you're like, no, I don't want to be here. You guys can leave, right? And you cannot compare that with kidnapping a person and putting them in a place that they didn't ask to be put into and say, hey, figure out how to live here. Figure out how to live here. If you don't figure out how to live here, you have issues. And if they ask what's the way out, like you don't get out until your time is up. Is it so it understanding that it is wrong to force someone to have like an experience like this without their consent. That's what makes me an internationalist. So I think she gets that now. I've explained to my mom so many times, so she does understand it. She doesn't wish that I think like this, of course. She says that she wants me to have kids, but she gets it because antinatalism does make a lot of sense. Diagor's sentience was destroyed through emulation in sun expansion, and sentience did not get out of the atmosphere after fossil fuel depletion. Where did you get that? That's interesting. Mark Lame, we live in an alien ant farm. Yeah, it makes sense to believe. Black girl in Bangkok. I work while I'm asleep in my dreams. I am working. There is no rest. Reminds me of something this guy said. He builds houses. He said he was telling me that there's no break because he wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and go to work. And it's hard labor, right? They work, they work, they work, they work, and then after that he goes to sleep. While he's sleeping, he'll be having a dream that he's building a house. So there's no rest. Can you imagine? That's your dream. Like you're waking all the damn time. That you now start to dream about your work. Don't start dreaming about anything else because your life revolves around work. That that's some fucked up shit. George Siwa, do you think your memory will be wiped once you die? Yeah, that's what scares me. I'll remember some things, but not everything. That's what sucks. Kind of like remember this the same way that I remember my dreams. McLean, hell is a modern concept. More accurate world is underground. Sure, hey, nah, nah, we can call it hell though. What makes you think you are that which dies because you are solipsist? Even if you were the last sentient, you'll still everything that dies. You are still everything that dies. Yeah, that's the right way to look at it. That's actually the right way to look at it. Um, because if you are the only conscious being, like for example, in your dream, if you're the only conscious being. When you wake up, the dream ends, right? The dream will last as long as you're in it, like, and it will be real. It will seem real. So your dreams are only as real as they last. So of course, if you're the only conscious being in here, when you die, then everything dies with you. I can't believe I'm a bit sleepy. It's the reason why I decided to do a live now is because I was not sleepy. I mean, I just woke up, and usually later when I'm sleepy because I work out, like I'll go to the gym like in a couple of hours, so I'll be tired when I come back. Jojo Sio. Okay. Wait. Before I get to this one, random shit. Everything is perception and projection. I mean, look at near death experience. A Christian sees Jesus while a Hindu sees Krishna. You never see a near death experience report in which a Jew sees Allah. You can. I think you can, but you're right. You can because you're still aware of these things, right? So I guess it has to do with what your subconscious decides to create for you. So even if you're an atheist, maybe your subconscious can create Jesus. So if you already know that Jesus doesn't exist and your knowledge is complete, I guess you can reject him in the afterlife. I guess but yeah, you're right. George, you see what you saw your father pass away. Where do you think he is now? Do you think he is in a better place? Do you believe you will meet him when it's your turn? Yeah, I think it's hidden in my subconscious. So of course, after this, I'm still gonna see him, or even here. Who knows what's gonna happen in this reality when we get to know what it is, if we ever get to know what it is. But now, I think if you have an experience, it exists, like and it's stored in your subconscious. I think your subconscious can recreate it in a different way. So yeah, I mean, even I've dreamt about him, so it's kind of like the same thing. So I wouldn't say like he's went to a place like a heaven where I will follow him like that. I'd say it's more complicated than that. It's not like an actual place where he went and me I'm also go to that place. No, I don't think that's how it works. Preston, I recommend you watch the Substance movie. If you look up the description, it's interesting. It's called the Substance. I'll check it out. Kevin, free will can exist within an emanation. We would need to have access to the source code and change it. but we are too limited and don't know how to access it to override it. And even if we can, will that be will that still be free will? If Christian God exists with a probability of 0, when one reason takes that maybe we should be careful because of God. If God exists, you cannot escape from God. So caution is a condition of wisdom, right? Yeah, but you must also understand that to believe in the Christian God also means that there are things that you need to do, right? Like comes with a lot of responsibilities. So if there's like 0.1 chance, like, do you really think you should now become a Christian, go to church, pray, pay tithe, not have sex, not do the things that Christians are saying are sins, even if they're not sins? Are you willing to go through that? Because there's 0.1 chance. In fact, there is no chance if you really think about it. It's not like there's some entities that told us that the Christianity is actually true. I would say that's when there will be a chance. If it's just people who just wrote this stuff, like they just made it up. You know what I mean? Sierra, I feel like life is what you make it. Some people may think earth is hell or may think it's heaven on earth. As for what happens after this life, I don't worry. It's about what we do during life now. All right, here's the thing though. Let's say there was a okay, R. Kelly, right? We all know what R. Kelly did. When was it? 2002. I think a lot of people defended him. They said, no, he didn't. He didn't do that. So what does that tell us? It means they looked at him like as like a very good person who didn't do that, who didn't do what he was being accused of doing. But there were some people who were like, no, we know him. He probably did that, right? Until it is proven, you could say it has it has to do with how you look at him, right? Because you don't know if he did it or not until it's proven. So you perceive him as someone who's good, but it wouldn't mean that you're right. It will mean that, well, that's how you perceive him. So it's like life itself. It's you perceive it the way that you perceive it, but it doesn't mean that you it all boils down to how you perceive it. Truth can exist, right? Just like Al Carey did what he did, but it didn't matter how we perceived him. It didn't matter how some people perceived him. There were those who were wrong about him, and those who were right about him. So even with life is the same thing. Yes, you perceiving life as like something positive can give you more positive experiences because you just have this positive mindset. You approach everything with positivity, but it doesn't mean that we're not having a negative experience. It could mean that you can feel better. It can work. You believing that we're having a positive experience can work for you, but it wouldn't mean that you're right. It wouldn't mean that life is what you make it. Truth does exist. you know is this a good experience or a bad experience? If life is what you make it, then that would be a good thing. But is it? When we think as rationally as possible, is life what you make it, or it doesn't really matter what you do? Everything it's kind of like everything is pre-planned. It's kind of like everything is rigged, like you didn't really have a choice. um it's not their prison, it's their home. We are the prisoners. They don't suffer. They are here to troll us. Yeah, you can put it that way. That makes sense. The algorithms, if you exploit to survive from that consequences, and you are not getting paid to survive but to be employed, then isn't your will free from the imposition of harm in order? Okay, let me read this question again. If you exploit to survive, okay, from that consciousness, and you are not getting paid to survive, okay, But to be employed, then isn't your will free from the imposition of harm in order for you to survive? Um, if I understand your question correctly, um, mm, hmm, now try to rephrase your question because I'm not sure if I understand it correctly. I'm not sure if I understand it correctly. Random shit. You can do what you will, but you can't will what you do. It seems like people want to talk a lot about free will. Maybe I should make an episode about free will, like, or not an episode, like a live, like where we talk about free will. Solmvelian, the way I pronounce your name, life is terrible. We're trying to make it better. Like, it's terrible, but we're trying to make it better. Like, if we were to do things as we're programmed to do things, damn, can't even imagine how messed up everything would be. But because we are trying, at least as sentient beings, to make things better, come up with laws, be like, hey, if you do this to another person, you're gonna get locked up. So we try our best to be civilized. Imagine if there were no laws at all. Like if they decided that, hey, for a week there's not gonna be any laws, no one is getting arrested for whatever they do. What do you think will happen? It means naturally we are evil. We want to do evil things, but we're trying to make life better because life itself is terrible. We're trying to make it better, but can we? You're right, Lauren. Hey, from the Caribbean. You're probably having a nice time there. Thanks for joining the live. Machiavelli, do you think God made us purposefully forget that we chose to be here? Um, the problem is this. If we forgot that we chose to be here, it means we didn't. Because our memories are like a big part of who we are. Without our memories, we are not ourselves. Like if they remove my memories and gave me false memories, I would change completely. Like I would not be myself, right? So my memories are important. So I must remember choosing to be here for me to have chosen to be here. Let me give you a simple example. Human cloning, is already possible. If they cloned me, if I decided that they must clone me and they cloned me, created, you know, an identical clone of me, that clone didn't choose to be cloned, right? That's what you must understand. It is me who chose to have a clone. That clone didn't choose to have a clone. So you cannot tell that clone that they chose to be cloned. Do you get what I'm saying? The clone must remember choosing to be cloned. So if you don't remember choosing to be here, you didn't choose to be here. It's like what happens in the TV series Severance. Like I can't wait for season 2, man. That was a very brilliant uh, season. Like I loved season 1. Like these people are working in this big ass company where like they have their memory seven in half, right? Like when they're at work, they don't remember what happens when they're at home, and when they're at home, they don't remember what happens when they're at work. Some of them, when they were at work, they got tired. They're like, no, we're trapped. It's like we're in a prison there because we only remember what happens when we're here. And our lives are here. Like, I'm always at work. That's it. Like I'm tired. And then they will show them the videos of themselves at home saying that they chose for them to be at work. So would you say they're the ones who chose for them to be at work? Like they chose for themselves to be at work? No, that doesn't make sense because the visions of them at work do not want to be at work all the time. They want to be at home. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm getting at? So we couldn't have possibly chosen to be here if we don't remember choosing to be here. Even if they show me a video of me choosing to be here, it wouldn't mean that I chose to be here because I don't, like, I'm a new person with new memories, new experiences. I understand things differently from how I may have understood things before making the choice to be here. So I didn't choose to be here because I don't remember choosing to be here. Does that make sense? That's why I'm saying we couldn't have possibly chosen to be here. The only way that we would have chosen to be here is if we still remember choosing to be here. Because we will also know why we chose to be here, because that is important. I like this scene in the Matrix when Neo was talking to the Oracle. He The Oracle offered him something, and he was like, "So do you know if I'm gonna take it?" And she was like, "I wouldn't be that much of an oracle if I didn't." And he was like, "Okay, so how do I have a choice if you already know what decision I'm gonna make?" And she said something very interesting. She said, "You didn't come here to make a choice. You came here to understand why you made that choice." I thought that was interesting. But in this realm, if you never get to understand why you chose to be here, you never get to agree with having chosen to be here, how could you have chosen to be here? Like you just you don't agree. Just like in the TV series Sovereign, they call the visions of them at work their einies. The einies didn't agree with the whole thing. They didn't want to be stuck at work. They wanted to have a life at home. They felt like prisoners at work. Nabil Amrani, to me it seems life on earth is an interaction between God's minds, okay, and where some gods transgress, enter the domain of existence of other gods, and this creates fictions which create experienceable events. My problem with that is that it doesn't seem possible to enter somebody's mind. I don't think, I mean, it's like to enter someone else's dream, to enter someone else's world. I don't know if that is possible. It seems like there's only one mind, not multiple mind. Like it is just in one reality. It seems like it's just one mind experiencing one reality. Digoras and annihilationism is a stronger argument than Gnosticism. What makes it a stronger argument than Gnosticism? Utter Semblin, Matrix and Terminator movies look like they are not so fictional, more true. And I think they were written by like the same person. MG, contrary to the popular belief, there are very few of us true souls left here. Most have escaped. The majority are narcissists that require lush as a mandate to survive. Yeah, that makes sense to believe, man. When you look at the way that things work in the world, it doesn't really feel like there are many conscious people here. Jake Daniels, would you want death to be the end or infinite rebirth? No, I would want death to be the end. I like the name Jack Daniel. So it's just like the name of like alcohol, right? I remember this. I don't remember if it was an ad. So this guy had a name of someone famous. What was his name? I think he's a basketball player. You find that someone is waiting for him. It's like if your name was like Mike Jordan, right? Someone is waiting for you at an airport and you have that name and they see you and they're disappointed. Like every time when they call his name, they expect something, you know, something they don't expect to see someone like him. They expect to see someone better and then they see him and they're disappointed. I thought that's funny. But no, I wouldn't want to come back here. To be honest, I do wish non-existence is possible. That seemed like it would be dope. I this was just not. It was upside down. That's the thing. I I don't think I hate this because I don't understand it. I think it's just bad. I think the more honest you are with yourself, the more you just realize it is bad. It was never good, you know. Digoras, I think men created gods, 100%. Layla M, I think bringing a child into this world is absolutely 100% selfish. Yeah, it's unjustifiable if you think as honestly as you can. Golf AI, Chico Benedictine. What does that mean? Thailand discovering. What's a addiction? Yeah, this is a real addiction because I don't see people holding water and drinking. I'm always drinking, like every 10 minutes. But do you have evidence for your luge? I really don't think so. Um, I kind of do. It's not real evidence though. Like I've given you this example before that when my day starts off bad, like bad things happen, I know in the end something good is gonna happen. It's like that. So I'll say that's kind of like evidence for that because these entities that want luge from us will have gotten enough luge, so something good happens in the end. So your day starts off bad and it just sucks. It sucks, and you're giving these entities luge because your day sucks, and then they're good. So they don't care. They don't torture you anymore because they're good, right? So now things start going well for you until they are hungry again. Because it always happens like that. If my day is gonna start off bad, something good is gonna happen, something unexpected. It gets to a point where I just anticipate good things to happen. Like, damn, my day started off bad, so that means something good is gonna happen, and then something good happens. SGDC, I'm still here, still alive, playing the game of the world. Yeah, we're trying. We're trying. Machiavelli is an internationalist. Do you believe you have the right to decide for an unborn person whether they will love their life or not? Maybe they will be grateful to be born. Everyone is different. What do you mean to decide? Because that's kind of like the same as bringing a person here, isn't it? Or you mean to decide whether they're going to have a good life or a bad life? I think everyone wants to have a good life, so it would be logical to decide that they have a good life or a life that they themselves are going to appreciate and feel like it's good. Only truth. I've finally accepted this is a hell realm for me. It is, can be laggy, but it is. Declan Tupac in chat. Tupac never dies, man. The Machiavelli thing is real because it means he never died because we're always talking about him. Why aren't we talking about the other people who have died? Why aren't we talking about Michael Jackson? He was famous. You do understand that Tupac was like the most talked about person who has died, except Jesus, of course. I mean, no, I'm lying because Jesus never existed. So Tupac is the most talked about person who has died. That's crazy. So he's never died. The Machiavelli thing is real. Random shit. If causality is fundamental to reality, then did God have a choice? That's a good question. That's actually a good question. And it could also mean that he didn't. He just thought he did. Even when sentience is born, the born still initiate harm. Yeah, there's no avoiding that. Okay, 6GDC, I think is responding to the question about causality. Before all things came into this, what we witness, it was an infinite void. I was there forever, a place worse than this by far. I crossed myself out, and this life is the shattered fragment. All right. Yeah, there's always been this question that I'll ask myself: what if base reality sucks? Like, it sucks more than this. So this is the reason why we're torturing ourselves. It's because base reality is, it's like, if it sucks to be in your room alone, it sucks so much that you want to go out into the world, even though the world itself sucks, but it seems better to you. You're like, I can't be in my room by myself talking to no one, so I gotta go out, even though it's dangerous, even though a lot of people suck, even though we don't love each other. But yeah, I mean, so that scares me. Like, that's a scary thought. That's really a scary thought. Shana Jade, I've been listening to you for a while. I don't know anyone to talk to about these things. Nah, I feel you. I feel you. It like, once you start realizing this, you realize that not that many people can understand things the way that you understand things. It can suck. I don't want to skip any comment. I think I've scrolled down. All right, now I think I see where I was. Okay, Diagoras. If you have intelligence, you are choosing to initiate harm. Who gave you the intelligence? Declan Mycon. I've seen and done it all. Golf AI. With free will, biggest problem is how do you choose your desires before you start existing. And if you are infinite, it is singularity and not understandable to us. Yeah, that's true. You don't even choose your desire. But even if you did, it's how would we know that it's free will? It's not causality. How do you make a choice? Peter Pan. All religions was created by man, not God. Yeah, men created God in all the religions. It's obvious, isn't it? Golf AI, love is stronger than evil though. Evil is from emptiness. We have most problems because there is no real love and people don't care about each other. Even in this world, people can love only conditionally. No, we have romanticized love so much that we don't realize that love itself is evil, because love is me loving myself. It's me seeing a person and loving how I feel when I see them. So is it love? Here's a girl. She's beautiful. She has a big booty. She's kind of short. I like short girls with big booties for some reason. Kind of chubby. She has a beautiful smile. She's she appreciates a lot more than what people appreciate about other people, right? Like, she appreciate the conversation, deep conversation, and all that. So I love her, but do I really love her, or I love how I feel? Because what if she loses all of that? What if she loses her beauty? What if she something happens to her brain and she starts not appreciating what she used to appreciate? Will I still love her? Like, you love how you feel when you're around a person than loving them. So it's still evil. It's still selfish. That is why a lot of people cannot find love, is because they don't make other people feel the way that they would love to feel. So we're selfish. We don't love other people. We love ourselves. So that is still, let me not call it evil, but it's still selfish. Maybe selfish isn't evil, but love isn't what we think it is, because we romanticize it a lot, but it isn't. You know. Sierra, Leila, am fostering or adopting a child, bringing them out of poverty, I think would be worth it. I don't think that in itself would be selfish, but if one raises a child without love, care, is selfish, 100%. 6GDC, I literally stopped time. It's my domain. It can't be shared or unlocked until we together discover our total authority. I hope there's something to discover, something that we never thought was possible. Golf AI, while I could never love in this realm, it is an abomination when animals have to hurt each other and you have to prey on other beings' energy. It is so sadistic. I am an empath and it made my heart of stone. Yeah, man. This whole thing is sadistic. Sick. I'm sorry, desire sees suffering from happening. I'm sorry, desire sees suffering from happening. I don't think your desires matter because there is no escaping initiating harm to survive. Yeah, there isn't. Only truth. The hand you're dealt in life affects what you make of it. Yeah, 100%. Golf AI. It is insufferable. We are all evil, and existential anxiety, only lesser evils are possible. We could go FFA, play Call of Duty and AP, and people until no one is left right now. Otherwise, what is the point? Yeah, Golf AI, idiotic, just prolonging suffering. Declan Mike Horn, heaven on earth, people, hell on earth. Lauren Taylor, life is rigged to the tree. Yeah, it's becoming more and more apparent that the whole thing is rigged. Shayna Jade, is life what you make it? Only if you don't care or react to what happens, then you are making it neutral. Um, it's good to not care and to not respond, but that means it will not affect you, but it still wouldn't mean that it's not bad. Let me give you a simple example. Let's say someone hates you and they keep on saying bad things to you, keep on saying bad things to you, and you just decided that you're not going to take them seriously at all, to a point where you're no longer really affected by what they say. It doesn't mean that what they're saying is good. It just means that you just don't care. So they can say whatever they say. And it doesn't mean that it will be true that it's what you make it, like what they're saying is not bad. It's just it has to do with how you perceive it. No, it is bad. You just don't care. So you're unaffected. So you being unaffected doesn't mean that this is good or it's neutral. It's not neutral. It's bad, but you don't care, right? It doesn't boil down to a interpretation. Like, oh, it's good that this person is cursing at me. Like, no, it isn't. It's bad, but it doesn't matter to you. You're like, it doesn't matter what it means. I don't care. You see? Thought feels it is akin to the continuity of flame burning on a candle, and people are asking nonsensically where the flame has gone after the candle stops burning. Mm, good question, actually. I like that. I like that example. Declan life is luck. Golf AI, yeah, that is a problem or origination. Because so prime mover and move, no one can choose what they desire. Uh-huh. Or what to desire. Or and we cannot know how they even choose what to desire if they choose if they could. I In that Tupac movie, I love the two quotes. War is not world's fault. War is man's making. Ah, and we are all causalities of war. Okay, it may seem like it's our fault, but it's not even our fault. It's just how we design. Like, what is more true is that it's like if you said the way things work in the wild, that's animals' fault. It's like, no, it's not. It's just how they've been programmed as animals. What can they do? Do not watch. Saint Benedict, thanks for joining the live. Thanks for joining the live. Gulf AI. War is caused by a couple elites that want elite. So, yeah, most of the time that's the case. Sierra. My response was to the person who feared what's at the end of life, and he feared if there was going to be a hell. So that's why I said tuning about what comes about this life, only the current life. It should matter. It's important that people think about what's possible, so that they prepare themselves. If you just focus on now, what if you needed to prepare yourself for what's next? What if you needed to figure out how to deal with what is next? Because remember, we don't know what this is. That would make more sense if you were just talking about tomorrow, like, and there was nothing planned tomorrow that needs you to think about it. And you're like, focus on now, because you tomorrow will come maybe, and you'll deal with what happens tomorrow. You cross any bridge when you get to it, than to just be focusing on a bridge that you are not crossing, at the present moment. Random shit. The human ability to cope is infinitely unlimited. We created God and devil because we subconsciously can't take responsibility. 100%. Not that we created God and the devil because we can't take responsibility. We believe in God and the devil because we can't take responsibility. So those who created God and the devil, they might have created them because they wanted to control us, but we believing in them is just our way of not wanting to take, like, for avoiding taking responsibility. Yeah. Mellard, Cotton. The people with souls and emotions have been terminated, and the rest are zombies and transhumans, and the machines went uh, always against the divine creative power. So it means we're soulless. All of us who are here are soulless. Inf- Infinity, you from Jamaica? Ha, the accents don't sound Jamaican at all. I can't even do the Jamaican accent. Gulf Air, don't think like that, because then you can already give up. Who are you referring to? Grace at the start there was the singularity. It wanted to experience what it's like to be dual with opposites. There is no way to experience life without differences. Oh, no, there is, but you can say that's what it decided. It wanted to experience what it, like, how it would be in, like, how a life in a world of duality would be, but it wouldn't mean that life would be impossible if there were no duality. Machiavelli, what positive life experience could revert you back to that? No, nothing can revert me back to naturalism. Nothing. Like, I understand beyond any doubt. Like, something that I understand that is wrong. The only thing that could, okay, yeah, maybe the only thing that could revert me back to naturalism is, uh, if I knew that before people are brought here, they wanted to be here, and they have full knowledge of what the whole thing is. And after this, they appreciate having been here. So that means that even after this, they will appreciate having been here. Maybe, and that's still a maybe. And that's because of the example that I gave you, that, once you forget that you made a choice, you're not the one who made that choice. The one that made the choice is the one that still remembers. So that it will still be difficult for me to make that choice. But nah, like the real problem that I have is consent. It's not really that life itself is bad, it's consent. Is that people are being forced to experience something that they might not want to experience just because we believe that they must experience it. That's the problem. Pamela, hey Benedictine, I hope you are well. No doubt this BS is hell. Programming and else. Like the fact that you say, no doubt this BS is hell. True, it's too damn obvious now. Random shit. We all have to do our best to make the best of our whatever this life is. Spirituality without the ability to control your reality is vanity. But do we control our reality? Do we get to control our reality? Refresher one. What were the origins of your antinatalist ideas? I was just sitting one day thinking about life, stressing, and asking myself if I should bring another person here. And it just felt wrong from that point forward. Mela, non-existence, nothingness, complete silence. It's our dream. Yeah, that would give me peace. Like if I knew that that's what happens after this, I'll be at peace, bro. Benedictine, God appreciates and rewards your courage. You have laid down your life, denied this world, and seek truth, regardless of where it takes you. I am God, and I can prove it. So are you. No, I love what you're saying. I love what you're saying. Micro 99. They obviously is still a place for immorality. So all again depends on human goodwill. And humans were just created to be evil, man. We're just trying, I guess. Remember your power and we will rise above together. People of all types and nations, we are a holy people. The world is terrified of us. The world will always be terrified of something true. Sierra, another question. What do you think of Edgar Cayce, a famous clairvoyant? He was said to predict many events. What's your thoughts on clairvoyance and possibility of predictions? Yeah, I've had many people talk about having that ability of like, being aware of things, that normal people ain't aware of. People like who can like remote view and all that. But we live in a world where if these people exist now, this is the perfect time to prove it. We have TikTok, we have YouTube, Facebook, and like like the guy who predicted Donald Trump's attempted assassination. That was interesting. So they will be able to prove to us by predicting things before they happen and consistently, maybe for more than 5 times. That will make us go like, whoa, this person has been getting it right. They know things that they shouldn't know. So we need to see things happening so that we'll be like, yeah, that it makes sense for me to believe this person can do supernatural things. Abish, when one says they are pro-life and want life to continue, they are saying that it is okay for all suffering, such as predation, accident, diseases, must continue. 100%. Like this is what I tell people that even when you create a new life, you're basically saying this is okay. I mean, why create a life if you're just gonna suffer trying to protect it from the messed up things? What's the point of that? Because that's the whole thing. You just it just has to deal with this. Pamela, I'll vote for FK in the future. Look at the past FK of Whoever says forgiveness should solve the problem. Who's that? Do not watch. Elvis was probably bigger than Tupac. Yeah, but we talk about Tupac. Why? It's not like, I mean, we couldn't even accept his death. Dude got shot in 1990. Was it 1994? 5 times in 1994. Got shot a lot more times when he died, and we still felt like he wasn't dead. But we don't just talk about him having not died. We also talk about him. We just talk about him like not even related to his death. We just talk about Pac. Pac would have reacted this way. Pac wouldn't have said this. Pac is here. Pac is this and that. Like damn, man, people love Pac. Tupac was a legend, though a real one. Yeah, yeah. His music was crazy, man. And he was kind of an internationalist, kind of. 6G. Okay, what would you require as proof you are God as well? Oh, you're talking to, or someone was asking that you prove you're God. McLean, man created God, hence man is God. Yeah, that makes sense. Every single God is just doing what an egotistical man would. 100%. Life of freedom. Bro, my family make me want to crash out. What, I mean, it sucks to live with family that um do not like does not really understand you. It sucks, man. If especially if you can't um avoid them. Michael Jackson was probably bigger than Tupac, maybe Elvis too. He was, yeah, Michael was bigger than Tupac and Elvis. I live in Africa, I can tell you that. Because in America, you might not see that clear. Because I mean, you're in America, you're aware everything is happening, but it's people in other countries that can tell you who's bigger. So I can tell you without a doubt that Michael was bigger than, like, Michael was bigger than anyone, not just any black art. Like he was just big. He was the biggest. But still, we talk more about Pac than any of them. You know what I mean? Like we still talk about Pac, bro. I mean, people do talk about Michael. They do his moves, dance and all that. But we talk a lot more about Pac. And remember, what's even crazy is that Pac died at 25 or 26. Dude was still young. I'm 31. Pac died when he was like 25 or 26. I don't really remember. And we still talk about his name. Random people who say love is stronger than hate. The world is bad because there is no love. Don't understand that evil. Don't think they are bad. Love and hate are two sides of the same coin. There's also a dark controlling. Yeah, love is hate, isn't it? Nothingness, non-existence is much better than this series of illusions. 100%. Random shit. There's also a dark controlling side to love. Yeah, life is cope. What do you mean life is cope? I'd say everything we do is cope. Pamela Reader, love to me sounds like a family that never had one, myself included. It is very sick here. No one should suffer. An evil and existence would prefer imposing rather than accepting. Non-existence better. Non-existence. Let's just hope it's possible. Machiavelli, if the end goal for humanity was to create heaven on earth, would you still be internationalist? Uh, that's a good question. Yes, And the reason why, because I don't think we can, but also I don't know if the people that I'll bring here will want to participate in that way. So if I'm lucky, I can create a person who want to participate in that way and try to make their life better. But what if I bring a person who doesn't do that? There will still be my responsibility, and still they would not have consented to this. So even if a person still wants this to be heaven, what if they don't know what to do to make it heaven? It's still it still be a bad thing because they still wouldn't have consented to the whole thing. So they don't love the experience. Like, yeah, I know I want it to be like heaven, but I don't want to do whatever it takes. This sucks. This is too much for me. The same way that like some people are lazy to do what what will bring them positive results in their lives. Like, damn, I don't want to do it. So forcing someone to do something, even if it's a good thing, that's still bad. It must be something that they want to do. So if I can't get consent from them, why should I? Because that's kind of like forcing. I can't get consent from someone, so I'm making a decision for them. You see? James, you have to take time, consider what you are likely to have that other people would give anything to have. Can be family, loved ones, health, a roof over your head, electricity, clean water, food. Yeah, but okay. And then continue to say, never take things for granted and take time to appreciate them. Um, just that fact alone proves that something is wrong. It's like if I'm torturing people and I'm like, hey, you gotta appreciate that I'm not torturing you more than I'm torturing this other person. Like, we mustn't feel like this is good because we're doing better than others. We must think this is good because it is good, right? Not because I have things that people don't have. Because it's gonna get to a point where I'm happy because I have things that other people do not have, and find that that's what's making me happy. I'm not actually happy because I'm happy. I'm happy because I'm doing better than others. Like, that's the only reason. It will even get to a point where I don't want other people to do as well as I'm doing because I won't be special anymore. I won't feel happy anymore. You see what's wrong with that? Like, I look at what other people, look at what other people do not have. Look at what you have. So you must appreciate what you have. Like, no, I mustn't be comparing myself to other people. I can look at what I have but without comparing myself to other people. That's better. So I can focus on the positive things in my life without looking at other people. Natalie M. I wonder how much of the personality and mind will carry over the physical death. Will be us as we know it or expanded again. Not knowing makes me feel like I need to prepare in every way possible. 100% we need to prepare. But yeah, I wonder how much of what we are we're going to take with us. Random shit. Also, people will say the brain is a in quantum computer. I kind of agree, but then they say in the quantum computer everything is random, so free will exists. First, we don't know enough about the quantum level, and secondly, randomness doesn't equal free will. You think we could be living in a quantum computer? Who created it? Praetorian. Even my own neighbors see me as a threat. How do they see you as a threat? Like, because you speak the truth or what? Mark Lame, quantum computer is a machine in a box. The human mind here is a box. Go outside the box to engage in free will. Who created what's outside the box? Praetorian, we are the enemy and it's personal. Shenar Jade, random. Interesting point. Randomness doesn't equal free will. If there's no time, if time is an illusion, we can't have free will because we have no time to make choices. So it's all random. Refresh one. What were the origins of your antinatalist? You have already responded to that. Raymond Humphrey, hello, or best wishes from Abakaki. Like I've had this, like I've had this, like I've had this name before, but I don't know how to say it. Lots of snow today. Preston Bobby. Is there always snow that side? Because where I live doesn't really snow. Preston Bobby. Are those saved because they are good to rewatch to study? Are these saved? Oh yeah, they are. YouTube will have to process them first, but they'll be playable, so you won't be able to see the comments while they are being processed. Pamela, read the truth is never going to sound nice. Being in hell, who needs hell when you have heaven? Non-existent is not for all. I will choose it though. Yeah, the problem is that when you try to get to the truth, it just sounds bad. So the average human will not be able to like really accept it. McLean, what do people think free will is? Free will means that we are not completely living in a hive mind or it's a consented choice. It goes back to what this other person said that we don't have like we have not agreed what free will is like as a collective. So when you say free will doesn't exist, every person tells respond according to what they believe free will is. Shanna Jade, I have 5 children. When I was young and idealistic, the Berlin Wall came down, and I thought it was a sign of human evolution and the period of love and freedom. Well, I was wrong. Yeah, at least now you see what is more true. Do not watch China. Are you said your keys exist? Pamela Reed. This is a question to Shannon. Pamela Reed. Um, Heaven and hell keep arguing and depend on it. I don't want anyone like that. Shanna, do not watch. Of course, I'm happy they exist. Michael Pritchett, we speak about Pac because of his impact. He influenced your favorite rapper. It definitely is, and it's probably like he's a lot of people's favorite. Like some people might say he's not the best rapper, he was not technical and all that, but most rappers love him, and he was most people's favorite. So yeah, he was just that guy, man. I don't think it would have fell off. Like what he had was special because he wasn't just a rapper. He knew how to make music that you just love. You know what I mean? You just like it's not just about rap. Like, hey, this guy is technical. This guy can rhyme. It's just his ability to make music. That's what was crazy. Like he could make like music that you can really listen to. So you didn't have to be a fan of hip hop to love his music. James P. Jones, Park was a young man. His potential was massive. At the end of the day, though, he was a musician that influenced in a negative and a positive way. He did damage, but he also opened people's perspective. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I mean, he's responsible for. I'm not even say responsible, but if Park handled the biggest situation better, Biggie would not have gotten shot in Vegas, right? Because people love Park so much, and when Park accused Biggie for like setting him up, they just like the gangsters just thought, oh, this nigga set Pac up. they started the whole East Coast West Coast thing. So of course they would want Biggie to be unalive, but of course Biggie had nothing to do with that. He didn't need to have anything to do with that. James P. Jones, he had potential to be much more than a hip hop artist. True. Sierra, thanks again for your response. Also, I should have noted Edgar Grace. His last name is said like the name Casey, and he's not the only clairvoyant out there. Was Lady Baba Vanga. Yeah, I would like to see, like these people like show us more. Claim like they should be able to show us that what they are seeing, that what they are saying is real. There has to be ways that they can prove to us so we can know for sure. James, even regions that haven't had contact with civilization for centuries knew who MJ was. That's actually funny. Do not worry. Tupac was wise beyond his years. Yeah, Pac was wise. Pac was wise. You gotta like people blame Pac for gangster rap and all that, but you gotta understand where he grew up and what the kind of people he hung around, and he was forced to hang around these people. Remember, he got accused of rape, and then who bailed him out? Suge Knight. He owed Suge Knight. He had to work with Suge Knight, and he still felt like he had people that were trying to unalive him. And I do believe Pug, if he survived, even if he didn't get shot, like I do believe that in a few years he would have left Los Angeles, or he would have found a nicer neighborhood to live in. I do believe that. Random shit, you're my favorite philosopher. You should write a book. It will be the bestseller. Now, trust me, the book is like I'm working on that, right? Only gonna like write one book. It's gonna be the craziest thing. I'm gonna say thing like on that book, and the thing is, I don't think they'll be able to ban it, right? So it's not like a YouTube video. There are things that I'm not saying on YouTube because I can't say these things on YouTube. So the things that I will say that will be on that book will shock you, like really, really shock you. I'm gonna give you the final truth about everything that I cannot say. So it's gonna be something else, you know. Pamela, as we talk, there are people of all ages being horrible, well, doing horrible stuff. Yeah, sometimes you don't think of that someone is being unalived right now. Like a lot of crazy things are just happening to people. Araya Chaudhary, right, but we are still at fault. Practically, human beings could have stopped war for their own gain and started utopian society for love, peace, care, and we would have also fed them. But the problem is, it can't really be our fault because it's how we've been programmed to be as a collective. We we are what life made us. Even if we tried, it wouldn't work. Like it's like blaming the animals for being the way that they are. Trust me, we had to be programmed differently. We had to be rewarded for being good. We need to be rewarded for loving one another more. That's how it would have worked. Now we're being put in a Hunger Game type of situation where it's a kill or be killed type of thing. Michael, if we talk about Park Mon, then it's obvious he was bigger. MJ don't have a blasphemy, white man's world, unconditional love. No, Mike was bigger. Trust me, Mike was bigger. But Park, I don't know what is it about Park that makes us talk about him more. But MJ, come on, MJ was bigger. Random shit. Yeah, the reason I'm an internatalist. No, thanks. That does make me happy because that's, you remember, this is what I this why I started this channel. No, not necessarily started this channel, but after becoming an internatalist, that was like what I wanted, to make people realize uh like the implications of having children, because it's not easy to just realize that what it actually means to have a child. Pamela, the number of people that tell to disguise the pain of suffering is sick. Yeah, Mike Lame, would anyone in the chat analyze someone? If no, that's how most humans feel. No, right? That's how most humans feel. Oh, yeah, that's how most humans feel. True. Do not white China. Do you have grandkids? Araya. I mean to say we could have animals too for stopping wars within them in wild. Human beings are God and are good and evil of their own. And we're probably more evil than animals because we are more capable. PlayStation game all day. If you become rich, would you give it all up just to stay humble? No. I will definitely help some people, but I'll help people who get what I get, like who understand what I understand. But why would I give it all up? I'd want to be more comfortable so that it will be much easier for me to do what I do. You know what I mean? Because if you don't have money, you struggle to do what you want to do. I have money, I can just be life all day and be like, I don't have to make money. I can just chill here and be life, right? Drink water. There's no, I need to go and get more water. Drink water, eat while I'm live, keep on talking to y'all guys because I don't need to make money, right? I'm good. Go to the gym, just do what I feel matters, and also use the money that I have to, make things better in the world in ways that I can make things better. So I wouldn't give it away like that. But I would be humble in the right way. Like I know myself, I'll be more free than I am, but I still will be humble in ways that matter. Right? I'll be humble in ways that actually matter. Shan, we had diagnosed apartheid was finished and nuclear disarmament seemed very possible. There was a lot of optimism back then. Seemed like a great time to have kids. Oh yeah, because when apartheid ended, people thought things changed for the for the better, right? It didn't change for better, but nah. And Cliff, that the only thing you can trust is change. Master the ability to accept change because nothing is consistent in life except change. Yeah, things change. Praetorian, I would ask very much to meet and have a lovely cup of British tea. Now, it'll probably happen. It'll probably happen. The Shane essay. So he's a producer from my hood. He makes house music, like Afro house music. He's very talented. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how much we plan or prepare, the future is never certain. Events like accident, illnesses, or sudden changes can remind us that we don't have control. True. Yeah, it feels like we want to have control so bad that we convince ourselves that we do, even like we don't. It's actually crazy, man. Blah, Burns. I was just at my mom's house and found a warrant to search her business. She's being charged with 12 felonies for stealing from the government. uh, a lot of people steal from the government. Like human beings, we are all like when we have like opportunity to steal, we do. We're corrupt. We're greedy. That's how we are. But I've also worked for government, and what I've realized is that we sometimes people are forced to do these things that are, that we consider to be wrong. And what do I mean? Let's say you work with people and they want to steal something, and you also know about it. Everyone agree that you must steal, but you don't really have a choice because you want to survive. They can turn against you. They can make you seem like the bad guy, and they can even get you fired. So sometimes it happens like that. McLean, do people not realize there are entire machines behind each celebrity's success? All their mannerisms and viewpoints, it's all programmed, not organic. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes complete sense. In a similar vein, Camus would argue that life is inherently absurd because it presents us with a world that does not answer our need for meaning. Yeah, true, true. And there is the fact that there is no meaning. That actually sucks. The man, it's 6:15 a.m. in New York, Benedictine salute. Damn, that's still early, man. That's still early. Osak Biggie was more obnoxious, rambling on about nonsense. Yeah, I mean, when you listen to Biggie's like songs, what was he really saying? I think the only two songs that he made that people love, that where he was actually saying something, was, I think it was Life After Death and Juicy. Let me go get some water. I always gotta be drinking when I do my, like when I'm doing anything really. There always has to be water that I'm drinking. Yeah. Michael Prechen. The only reason they say Pac wasn't a technical rapper, dude, a lot of people like Pac. Damn, that's crazy, man. Okay, the only reason why they say Pac wasn't a technical rapper is because they are haters who want to diminish his contribution so they can shine. Pac is the best lyricist, that's why. Nah, I agree. Besides, he didn't need to be technical. I would say he wasn't technical because yes, he didn't have uh no these crazy punchlines, you know what I mean? But he didn't need to have these crazy punchlines. Because the only reason why you'd have to have like this crazy or complex like lyrics is to impress people. What if you're already impressing people without having to come up with like super complex lyrics? You know what I mean? You don't need to be cannibals. You already have a good voice. You know, you are already saying words in a way that touches people's hearts. So do you really need to be technical? As long as, because the point of it all is to touch people's hearts, right? So if you are able to do that while being like making everything as simple as possible, making everything seem look as easy as possible, that's great. Christopher died because of Christopher shouldn't been in LA dissing after Park's death. Nah, it's because of Park, man. Park shouldn't have started beef with him, because niggas are ignorant, so they had to blame him for that, you know. So that's probably why Puff had him in LA because he probably wanted him to be unalive so that they won't unalive him. Puff. Pamela wouldn't want to proclaim to be first smarty pants here. None of the most required unless they depend on existence. Pre-storm Bobby. Someone told me Diddy unalive Park. Is that because I mean everyone says that really? Like the people who work closely with them say that yeah, Puff ordered a hit on Park because he was afraid of sewage. Michael, if MJ was bigger than then we will talk about him more. We don't. We do talk about him a lot, but not more than we talk about Park. That's the thing. We do talk about him a lot. It's probably after Park that's him. You know what I mean? Him and then Elvis. Yeah, those are the people that we talk about. Park, we talk about Park because of the beef, because of the impact that he had in like rap music. You know what I mean? Like he inspired a lot of rappers. He was different. You know, he represented the gangsters. He represented the good guys because Pop was good. So he wasn't just like this gangster. That's why some people feel like he was not a real gangster because he was good. He was also conscious, but he also had to be, he also had to show people that he was capable of being a gangster. But he didn't need to be a gangster because he was a great musician. So yeah, I claim there was a lot of optimism when they wanted to repopulate the earth. Now the push is more towards depopulation. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Praetorian, I tell you what I want, what I really, really. I think I've heard that song though. The song I don't know how people like that. It's a song for children, right? Naglaim, what country is that? Yes, you're right. Unfortunately, nature has made our brain like this over the years, and good people like you, me, us are outnumbered. Everyone is different. If we had perfect brain evolution, would be is it rewarded? Yeah, agreed. Malakaten, the illusion starts with masculine revolution, more spiritual, well, and ends with feminism, LGBT, more materialistic, and this is the style they would one against the other. I don't even want to touch on that. SOA, Satan has great control over you. Oh, I am him. Malad, the illusion starts with masculine. Oh, I think I've already read this concept. Michael, what do you consider technical? Are filler words without substance, rhyming a bunch of words together that don't make sense or not impact is not lyricism. Now, let me give you an example of line that I would say is technical. Cats get bodied with a single line like a stick figure. Because my words are wild. Because when I write, they can't wait for the sentence like family victims of a murder trial. Like that's technical, right? Cats get bodied with a single line like a stick figure. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. Like M, for example, what he said about Puff. What did he say? Something like Didi. Like just something that you wouldn't really expect someone to say, but that can be connected to like what to something else, right? Like okay, I'm saying something, but it's also connected to something else. So I'm saying three different things with just one line. That's being technical. But people can be technical in different ways, right? A person can be technical, uh, but just like rhyming, just like you're saying, or coming up with like a rhyme scheme. Like, let me give you this simple example. Um, it was a battle between what's the name of this guy, Immaculate, and I forgot the other guy. But he said this. Just listen to this scheme. He's like, rewind it further before you lost this battle to a vet. Before you sin organic in the flesh, yelling rapper to my lips. I accepted this. Um, okay. I accepted this as a matter of respect. So you should feel honored when I decapitate your neck. Blood splashing on the floor in the cracks of the cement until the avenue is wet. But wait, that's when you snap out of it. Wake up, gasping for your breath. Whatever. Then you look around you, and instead of a casket, it's your bed, and then you realize that we haven't battled yet. It all happened in your head. But now imagine what will happen at an actual event. Yeah, I kind of messed it up, and the reason why is because I even like watched this battle in many years. But that's technical, you know what I mean? Like that's smart. It's not something like very obvious. So yeah, I would say Park wasn't very creative when it comes to right. Like he's just straightforward, right? You knew what he was saying. That's it. You know, he knew exactly what he was saying. There was nothing behind what he was saying, but he said everything that he was saying as well as it could have been said. That's what made Park better. Christopher is the reason Christopher is dead. Uh, Michael said a bunch of nothing. I was once sitting in seclusion, remembering and glorifying Allah. It's crazy that you always hear talking about Allah. Did Allah send you to this channel? Like, damn, there's Benedictine. You gotta save him. We need him. Since we did nothing, decided to be here. Why not choose? Okay, why not choose the end? Why not choose the? Because we don't really know what this is, and I think it's important that we figure out what this is while we're still here, or at least learn enough and become as strong as possible. You know, I think that's important. You should listen to Devilish Trio. Who is that? I don't know who that is. Are they rappers or something like that? 2 hours 50. I mean 2 hours 30 minutes. Guys, thank you for joining the live. Now I gotta go to the gym. So thank you for joining the live. I like that we did this live during the day because normally uh, I do the live during the night because that's when a lot of people will join. But I still feel like a lot of people were able to join. So it means we can do a live anytime. Like I was just doing an experiment actually today. Like, is it possible to do a live and then people still join, even if I do a live during the day? So yeah, this was a good one. Thank you all, guys.